All right. Good evening and good night, and welcome to the It's Your Perspective Talk Show. It is Friday, March 11, 2016. My name is David, a.k.a. Kimba, a.k.a. Christian Longside.
Soup.
We back in the studio again tonight.
Yes, sir.
Special Friday show. I just want to say that this is the It's Your Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, weekly, 8 p.m. until. We do have a telephone number tonight, 340-201-9005. You can also text us on a number as well. Most importantly, though, you have to go to our website, streaming live from the vi.com. Go to that website, click on the tab that says Watch Us Live, and you'll be able to see the show tonight because we do have some special guests in the studio sitting over there in what we like to call the hot seat. We have email as well, streaming live from the vi at yahoo.com. Send us an email if you're too shy to call or text. It'll pop up on my screen here and we'll be able to respond almost instantly. We're in a high-tech, low-tech studio coming to you from an undisclosed location here, St. Croix, Virgin Islands. No radio, no TV, internet only, which means you have to get your Android, your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac or your Windows PC. Open up your browser, type in streaming live from the vi.com, and you'll be able to see the show tonight. All our recorded live shows are on YouTube and Ustream.tv. Just go to those sites, type in It's Your Perspective Talk Show, and you'll be able to see all our recorded live shows. Well, right around 300 soup, man. We're just blazing them out real quick here. We're on Facebook as well. I want to give a shout out to CHS class of 1982. And most importantly, soup, I want to give a shout out to all our past guests. Thanks for believing in what we do here and being on our show. We're on Twitter as well. Tweet with us at VI Perspective. We're moving straight forward and up. The show's mission is just to inform, entertain, and empower everyone. And as we continue on here, Soup has been blessing us from last week and this week with some very powerful readings from His Majesty. You ready, Soup?
Yes, sir.
Bless that mic, man.
Good night to one and all. Hope everyone had a wonderful day and even a greater night. Humanity by nature is... this speech is on education from Kidamawe Imperi Selassie I. Education. Humanity by nature is gifted to think freely, but in order that his free thought should lead him to the goal of liberty and independence, his way of thinking must be shaped by the process of education. It is understood that the independence of the mind created by education, individuality, will have as a result the creation of an independently minded nation. When we compare the numbers of schools functioning in Ethiopia today with those that existed before the occupation of the enemy, we can view with the keen satisfaction the advancement achieved within the past 5 years. We are sowing seeds on fertile soils, and schools are springing up throughout the land, attended by the youth of today who is thirsty for knowledge. At the present, there are numerous schools in functioning attended by thousands of youths. A large number of these youths are already showing signs that they will someday be useful servants to Ethiopia. From amongst these will be the chosen intellectual youth of worthy character to be sent abroad to complete their education. In addition, we have founded special schools for the training of cadets and the police as well, as schools of aviation in order to help the good functioning of administration. We have not limited our education programs to what has already been achieved on the country. We are doing all we can to open thousands of additional schools all over the empire. Preparation is well on the way for the opening of a large university at Addis Ababa. Education, work, and diligence are the main functionings of our national existence. We call upon all Ethiopians to send their children to the nearest school, for it is suicide and a crime against the responsibility which God places on all parents not to educate one's own children. The catastrophe that has brought about by human hands during the past years can be avoided in the future by religion in the hope of God, which should be in the heart of all the people, and this can be achieved by education, which is not born by the youth. The effort which is made for peace will be in vain. We hope that the Conference of the Peace, which will be held in the near future, those who will be responsible shall be inspired by the profound idea of justice towards human cause and human rights. July 1946. I give thanks and praise. We have Red Cross in the house tonight.
Yes, there they are right there. They've been waiting patiently, and
Yes.
there they are. You guys wave to the world. They are seeing you live right now. So we have Lily Alvarez and Marla L. Matthew in the studio. They are with the Virgin Islands Red Cross. I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and spending a little bit of time.
Thank you for having us.
A little bit of
Welcome.
time with us tonight to share about the Red Cross and what activities you guys are having. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're great.
Okay.
Great.
Well, we know we this is Red Cross Month, March, I guess every year, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys have. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about the history of what Red Cross is about, and how it came about, and
How long they've been in function and existence.
Well, basically, the mission of American Red Cross is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of an emergency. And we do that by mobilizing the power of volunteers as well as the generosity of the donor. And so that Red Cross Moves, it is an organization that is driven by volunteerism as well as the support from our community. Red Cross has been in existence in the Virgin Islands since 1917. So our 100-year celebration is soon right around the corner. When we look at American Red Cross here in the Virgin Islands, we have chapters, one on St. Thomas, a unit on St. Thomas, as well as on St. Croix. We service St. John as well as Water Island. Red Cross has 5 targets, and those targets are bloodline, in which we make sure that our blood products are safe, and we have blood that we provide to hospitals nationally. We also have our service to the armed forces, and service to the armed forces is a program in which we support our men in the military. Also, our third line is disasters, and that is where I come in because I am the disaster coordinator here in the Virgin Islands, as well as health and safety, encouraging all our homes to at least have one individual who is CPR first aid certified. And our last target is international tracing. And so we look for when families are in search of their loved ones who have been within an area where there's conflict or major disasters such as Haiti or the earthquakes in Chile,
Yes.
they normally come to the American Red Cross to make sure that we can link them up with their families.
Do you know by any chance the Red Cross is involved in the conflict in Syria right now?
No, I know that that would be a task of the International Red Cross, of which we are a member.
Okay.
And so that you would see Red Cross on the front lines trying to assist those individuals who are hurt or need any kind of a medical help. However, that would be a mission that would come out of the International Red Cross. For us, we are active in Flint with the distribution of water. We also have within our region, we're working with the United Way with the distribution of pesticides for the Zika virus within Puerto Rico. And as you know, recently, just as yesterday, we opened shelters in the southeast due to the floods that we're having in Louisiana.
Right.
So within a day, throughout the United States, Red Cross is responding to emergencies. We also know that fire is one of the events that keep us quite active, and so that there is a home fire throughout the United States, and so that our need to respond, our disaster action teams are out there in the communities providing food, clothing, a place, shelter, a place for individuals to sleep during that evening, as well as replacement of all their other personal supplies or medical supplies.
If I wanted to become a volunteer, what's the process that one have to do to become a volunteer for Red Cross here in the St. Croix?
Okay, Miss Alvarez is our workforce engagement. She works in that area, and so we'll have her identify and just explain that process.
Thank you.
The process to become a volunteer is very easy. You would just call into our offices, either in St. Thomas and St. Croix, email us, text us, any form of communication. Just get to us your full name and an email address, and we can go ahead and send you the link and the simple steps to becoming a volunteer. It's all done electronically through internet. So it's very simple.
Do the person tell you how many times they want to spend a week, or is there a list that they could choose from or something like that?
They don't. To volunteer for the American Red Cross, you don't have to be 24/7 all the time, 40 hours a week, 7 days. No. If your choice is to volunteer for several hours a week, we would appreciate it. Or if you can only do weekend, we'll work with you.
I always say that Red Cross should give, volunteers should give a minimum of 8 hours per month.
Okay.
And that 8 hours can be broken up according to their schedule. I think for us, when we have programs that are planned, we have to rely on volunteers, so we want to know that you're reliable. It's not the quantity, but it's that we can that you're dependable.
Right.
So that if you say that I'm coming 4 hours once a month, great. We'll count on you for those 4 hours.
Right.
So we're not looking for quantity. It's just the presence and the dependability during that time.
Right.
Okay.
Is there any like qualifications or like requirements to become a volunteer? Like you have to be a certain age, anything like that?
We have youth volunteers starting from age 13. We have clubs that can start from any age. If a school has students in kindergarten all the way up and they'd like to have a Red Cross club, they're welcome to do so. Students who are volunteer within the Red Cross, they receive community service, and so that we depend on our youth volunteers that for the energy, and so that you can volunteer from any age, as well as skill. We're not skill-based. Red Cross does a series. We have 37 functions, as well as a host of hundreds of courses that can get you prepared to work in your area of interest. We have individuals who, within their normal work or career path, would like to try something new. And so that they come to Red Cross just trying to work in an area that's out of the box and learn the skills that are necessary. Other volunteers would like to come to Red Cross and work within the area that they're comfortable with and the skill that they already know. So we prepare individuals for whichever areas they choose. We have several areas. You can be in operations, which would be the routine sheltering, the health services, as well as bulk distribution, or you can be in technology with logistics, operating our satellites, our communication, or you can simply be in the finance area, dealing with like Lily, crunching the numbers. And so that there's just a host of areas. The only 2 certified areas that are essential would be the nurses, you must be certified, or the mental health. You must be a counselor, someone that has a type of professional training in those 2 areas.
Right. Mental health. Okay.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to add to that too is when you come to Red Cross and you gain the skills, you become a volunteer. You could be an American Red Cross volunteer across the nation. The records go with you. It's all in the computer. And so if you leave here and you go up to Kansas, you can be a Red Cross volunteer in Kansas.
Okay.
You're certified for that. You can take your records.
And this consistency, our symbol with the circle around the Red Cross is one Red Cross, and that just signifies that wherever you go to, it's one Red Cross. Nothing is done any different. Rates are the same. Training opportunities are the same. And so that you fit in wherever you go.
Okay. Now, like specifically, what do you guys deal with? I know disasters. What are some of the things that you guys would respond to?
Well, we are frequently sending communications to the military personnel if there's an emergency at home the death of the loved one. We know that American Red Cross, as they say, is the only organization that can bring that soldier home. And typically what it is that we get the message out. We have a call center that's open 24 hours, 7 days a week to be able to send messages. Messages can be, the birth of a baby, a loved one just saying hi, or, someone that is seriously ill. But whatever that message is, Red Cross is the one that sends it, and we are in communication with the soldier or the soldier's commander to ensure that messages are relayed on time. And so basically that takes up a good percentage of our time. Other areas would be, like I said, the everyday, the routine fires that we have. We respond to fires within our community. We have a DAT team that is available 7 days a week. We just recently serviced the Bovoni community where there were 15 individuals that were recently displaced because of a fire.
Right.
And so that day to day we have to ensure that it doesn't stop at the fire, but we continue the client casework in terms of getting that person back on their feet and on the road to recovery. So that does take time, and with referrals, giving them referrals to other agencies and just assisting them to follow up that they can get back on their feet.
Okay.
And so that those are our major responses. The third and largest one is actually preparation. That we are preparing for all hazards within our community, and so that when we look at the hurricane seasons that's coming up, we know individuals gear up for June 1st. However, for us, it's from January until December, 365 days a year,
yes.
because there are no notice events. What happens if we have the earthquakes? There's an earthquake now or a tsunami,
right.
Flash flooding. So we want individuals to be prepared. And getting that preparation message out is a task. I think we always think that the emergency is always going to happen to our next door neighbor and not us. But we all can be victims and will be victims if something happens and we are not prepared.
Right.
We are spending quite a bit of time within the schools. And I like what you said, Mr. Carter, that the youth are thirsty for knowledge.
Yes.
Because we find that if we're going to mold minds and we're going to train, that we should work with the students. And so for the students in grades 3rd through 5th, we have an exciting project that's called the Pillowcase Project. And that project evolved from Hurricane Katrina, when individuals had to evacuate their homes and, again, not being ready, grab the closest thing that they had on hand, which was a pillowcase. And so we have a lovely embossed pillowcase with the items that students have to put in their pillowcase to be ready. And those pillowcases were sponsored by Walt Disney. And so we're going through the schools, talking with students, teaching them, and it's called Learn, Think, and Share, because when they learn, they have to go home and they have to share it with their parents. And we also have a segment that gears with coping skills. How do you cope during an emergency? And so that we know that the youngsters are the ones that what we call keep us calm.
Right.
They're the ones that are going to say, Mommy, don't worry, it's going to be all right. So we teach them how to think in color. And so there are other coping activities, as well as we highlight our fire program, in which we teach them about evacuating, leaving the home, how to dial 911. There's how to be safe, the things not to do to prevent household fires. And also we have a host of other hazards, earthquakes, tornadoes, flooding, that we can choose to focus on, hurricanes as well. So our program is very, very extensive. It's an hour and about 15 minutes, because we give children a chance to sit down and color their pillowcases and take them home to their parents. And so that is our Pillowcase Project, and we're heavily driven. I think since we've begun, we have given out territorially 1,500 pillowcases
Wow.
about.
Yes.
And so that's a great activity. One of our other activities that we're also busy is our home fire preparedness campaign. And that is it's one of our safety preventative programs, encouraging our families to install a smoke detector in their homes. And so if you don't have one, we're getting you started. And so that American Red Cross has been installing smoke detectors as a safety measure to make sure that we can have no lost lives due to a house or an apartment fire. Our component, we also have, along with that program, the families receive a small magnetic poster to put on their refrigerator so that they can test their smoke alarms at least twice a year. And we know the key thing is to drill. If we don't practice how we're going to respond, then when an emergency happens, we're all confused.
Yes.
So we're asking them to write the dates down when they're going to drill. We also ask them to locate the exits for their homes and a common meeting place outside where once you evacuate your home, everyone will be. We know that people tend to exit out during different doors, and so some are to the front of the house, some are to the back. And when the fire truck arrives, because they're talking to one group, that group may not know where the other group is and may assume they're in the home. So we don't want to endanger the lives of our firefighters to go in to look for someone who they think might be trapped when they're already outside, but at another location.
Okay.
So we encourage everyone, when you evacuate, have that common place where the family is going to meet.
Right.
We also distribute a checklist of fire safety tips to follow, such as, not lighting candles, how easy it is for our curtains to get caught when you're when you have a candle lit, and cooking, the grease jumping over into the stove. So we have a lot of tips, smoking in bed, for families to follow. So our home fire campaign is driven by partners. So far we've had the Civil Air Patrol that has been assisting us, the FBLA, the Salvation Army, as well as we've had one of the National Guard retirees that have come in and assisted, as well as a few individuals from the Air National Guard.
So when you say assist, you're talking about they're the ones that come in and install?
Yeah, they're the ones that help the Red Cross workers come in with our volunteers. We go as a team of 4. The VI firefighters have assisted as well, and we go as a team. And so we have an installer who goes in and put up the alarm. We have the educator who really talks to the family, and we also have the recorder who jots the data down. And then we have a junior installer, and that's again the energy, those who come with us and assist us with taking our materials from home to home. If we have, we tend to need about 60 people, 50 to 60 people to get the job done fast. And we would like to install at least 100 detectors in the estates, whichever estate we're in.
Okay.
So how many have you guys installed already?
800.
We've done 800
Here on St. Croix?
St. Croix, yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, and they're coming in. They're mailing as my supply gets depleted, I get a new supply. So we're right down now on our last 200, and we're going to be right out there into the community. So we're encouraging our organizations that this is not a project that we can do alone. It is a partnership between us and all the different community organizations. If you have one Saturday during the month that you'd like to come out and have your members assist us, we're encouraging you to do so, because safety is our number one priority, but it's not the responsibility of one individual. It is collectively, we must work together.
Right.
Okay, good. So I know today was the Wear Red Day,
Yes.
and tell us a little bit about that and how that concept came about.
Where Red Day has been in the Virgin Islands for the last several years, and it is just putting it out for agencies, businesses, individuals, schools to wear red on a particular day, mainly during the month of March, which is Red Cross Month, to show your support for the organization, for American Red Cross.
Okay. And our guests tonight are wearing their red.
Yes.
I think I got a little bit of red on here in my shirt. Okay, so I guess that's just it. Just a show of red throughout.
So showing your support for
Okay.
the American Red Cross.
Okay, and this is nationwide.
Well, it is throughout the nation. They have different days, but we selected ours for today
Right.
within the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
And so that we encourage the students as well. Again, you know, the wearing red really celebrates American Red Cross. It celebrates what we do. It celebrates the work of our volunteers. Like I said, we're volunteer driven, and the volunteers are our everyday heroes. They're the ones that are out on the line when there's an emergency and individuals are at home. You know that a Red Cross person is out there trying to provide support and comfort to an individual who may be a victim. So we salute our volunteers. We salute our donors, the ones that financially give to American Red Cross. We have individuals here within our community who send their contribution every month to Red Cross to keep us going. And again, it's not how big the donation is, it's the fact that you give from your heart and you give to support our services as well as our programs. Again, like I said, we all in different ways may need the Red Cross
Yes.
or have already received the benefits of the American Red Cross. And so we don't know when that knock is going to come, but to encourage us and to be able to fund us so that we can continue our work, we ask individuals to please give. If it's just the money, it's just the bare money, or it's the magazine money that you spend, and just 1 month you decide that I'm going to make this token to Red Cross, please do so. We are located at Estate Castle Coakley on St. Croix, or at the Niski building on St. Thomas. Drop by. We can accept credit cards. You can call us and we will take your credit card over the phone as well. So please give to the American Red Cross.
Okay, perfect. One of the things I wanted to ask you guys about is the blood drive. You guys still do that?
No, at this time, we do not. We support any of the blood drives. We encourage individuals to give blood. But however, in the Virgin Islands, the Charles Howard, the Wang Louis Hospital, it has the blood bank, and they're responsible for the collection of blood.
Okay.
We do have our blood center in Puerto Rico, in which they also have blood products available for dissemination throughout the Virgin Islands as well. But we do not have any collection within the Virgin Islands or on St. Croix.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. So, and moving on for tomorrow, Saturday, March 12th, 2016, is Fill the Booth fundraiser. And I guess, as it says here, I guess you have volunteers at certain areas with the booth. And as you drive by, you just drop off a donation. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Fill the Booth is a fundraiser that we do every year, along with the assistance of the Virgin Island Fire Services. And it's actually filling one of the booths for the firefighters. But it's a fundraiser that the Red Cross does, and it is collecting contributions from different intersections around the Virgin Islands. The one this year is going to be held tomorrow at different intersections and simultaneously in St. John, St. Thomas, and St. Croix. In St. John, it's going to be at the Cruz Bay Dock. In St. Thomas, it's going to be at the Fort Christian parking lot, Mandela Circle, Wheatley Center, and Tutu Park Mall. And on St. Croix, it's going to be Basin Triangle, Five Corners, bypass the area by Gallows Bay, and it's going to be in front of the Red Cross facility in Cassie-Coakley, right there in the intersection for Sunny Isles. So that's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be from 9 to 3, and we'll be requesting contributions from the community. And it's like one of our volunteers say, is we helping we?
Okay, so you get all this. This is the money that helps when there is a disaster.
Yes, it is, and it's driven. The firefighters assist us because more than ever, the firefighters know that when the truck starts to roll to a house fire, they're going to make that call to Red Cross, whether it's 1 o'clock in the morning or it's 4 in the afternoon. Red Cross will be there to provide support to the victims, and so they assist us with fundraising to make sure that we can fill the disaster account so that we can provide that support. That money is directly goes to our Virgin Islands community.
Okay.
In case of an event, is there like is there a shelter that Red Cross provide, or just is there a general shelter place that is designated here in the territory?
For the small events, we use a hotel, and as the events get larger, then we can use from a recreational center to a school,
right,
to a church hall. So depend upon the extent. When we're preparing for hurricane, we do have shelters. At least there are 5 primary shelters throughout the territory. And so that we have to ensure that our shelters are up and prepared. We have 33 buildings territorial-wide that has been identified for shelters.
Okay.
So that inspection takes place annually, and it's a conscientious effort between all the government agencies who come together to make sure that the buildings can be usable.
Okay.
And in the event that there is some emergency or disaster, you get a call, and you guys like immobilize as a team. They call you, and then you call the volunteers, and you all kind of merge on a location. Is that how that kind of works?
Yes. There's a DAT team. It's called a Disaster Action Team, and that's a team that's available. It has a team about 25 individuals who are on standby 24 hours, 7 days a week.
And these are the volunteers.
And these are volunteers. Our Red Cross is volunteer driven. In the territory, we have 350 volunteers, and we have 3 staff members.
Okay.
So that's to tell you that, again, we rely on the help of individuals to come out and provide assistance. But our DAT teams are on standby, and they respond. There's a an emergency number that's called, and there's a captain for each team, and depending on which team is available on that week, that team would respond. And so they go out and they service. For larger disasters, in which, let's say we're preparing for a hurricane, we begin to mobilize at least 5 days. As soon as we look at the coast of Africa and we see that hurricane is coming off the coast, and it has indeed formed, even though we may not have very strong projections of whether it's going to affect the Virgin Islands or not, we begin to mobilize. Takes place with volunteers coming in, letting us know whether they're available. Those volunteers going back home and make sure that their home is prepared, and they can come out. We begin to talk to our region, which is Puerto Rico, letting them know our gaps, where we would need assistance for a response if something gets to be over a certain level. And then we begin to talk to our division, which is the Southeast, and they too are ready to be able to send in volunteers to provide support. That is the chain of command. We know that if disaster strikes, that we too are victims. And so within 72 hours, we will have to send volunteers home to take care of their own personal needs.
Yeah.
So we have states that would reciprocate and send their volunteers down to the Virgin Islands to be able to serve. Likewise, like I said, we have the floods. We would reciprocate and send our volunteers up to be able to serve on the mainland. And we've sent volunteers as far as Guam, Alaska. So if you are, if you have time on your hands, even if you're retired, this may be an opportunity to see other places that you haven't had a chance to visit by going and spending, at some days in work. We require 21 days for an operation.
Okay.
And then, you stay and you get to visit the state or the county where you're at. Red Cross will make sure that they pay your way there and your return fare, as well as put you up in a hotel.
Okay. That sounds good, man.
So, I'm recruiting.
Okay.
So do you have recruitment drives? Or it's just kind of free for all? You just kind of come in and volunteer, or sign up to be a volunteer?
Time to time, we have recruitment drives. We went out to St. John, the island of St. John, and we had a large recruitment drive there, encouraging individuals to sign up. Recruitment is ongoing. When there are fairs and exhibits, we're there recruiting. We were recently over at UVI. And so we go wherever we have an opportunity. We have the Vitima Expo annually. Wherever there is an activity, we use that time to also recruit.
Okay.
Or wherever you see us, you hail us down, give us your name and email, and we go to roll.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to touch on and related to the Wear Red campaign for today and tomorrow? Fill the boot.
Well, I think that it's encouraging our community to give. I can't stress that anymore. That if you have your pennies. I know when I get home, I empty my pockets and I have a glass filled with coins. Just pass by and drop it by the Red Cross. If you'd like to write a check, just the same way, come by. There are going to be individuals within the different intersections who are collecting. And, just think about the Red Cross and give us your support financially. I would like to once more again acknowledge our everyday heroes, the volunteers. The volunteers that are there 24 hours a day who are assisting. We have Monica Brathwaite on St. Thomas, Felicity Warner, that's there. We have Dolores Powell on St. John, that's constantly there. We have Celia Kulsek from the St. John Foundation. We have Hyacinth Charles. Now, I can't tell you how long she's been in Red Cross, but I know that it's over 40 years. As well as individuals like Margaret Howe, Miss Ivor Brandy, that, come in, Miss Emily Couture, Miss Velma Edwards. These individuals are there. One of our students, Dexter Williams, he's always there. So if you come in, you've been to Red Cross and you see how it's kind of busy. Yes. There's a lot of movement, but everyone is a volunteer. So, I'd like to just acknowledge those volunteers and the everyday volunteers in whichever small way that they give of their time to just say thank you from American Red Cross. When you give of service to your community and it's not a paid job, you know that you will be rewarded some way down the line. So we thank all our heroes, all our volunteers who give so much. And so we encourage our community to match that with the dollar.
Okay. So you say 24 hours. So is someone at the facility here 24 hours a day?
No, someone is not at the facility, but we have an emergency line. 778-1419, and it's available that we answer. Or if you call just the regular Red Cross telephone, our office numbers, no matter what time, it will forward your call or give you a number for you to call if it's an emergency.
Okay, perfect. So one of the things I wanted to talk about too was I guess the Be Red Cross Ready. This is the preparedness kit.
Yes.
Is that sort of the right thing there? The
Yes.
checklist.
Yeah, the checklist. That's our disaster checklist. And being Red Cross ready is really explaining to our audience and individuals to come into Red Cross and pick up that checklist. Being ready has a list of items in which you need to have available. It gives you must have a minimum of supplies to last for at least 72 hours. And so we want, water, 1 gallon of water per day, food, non-perishable food that's easy to be prepared. Again, your battery powered or hand crank NOAA radio, extra batteries, your cell phone, your sanitation and personal supplies, as well as your medical information, your wills, your family personal information. Extra cash, because we're driven for the ATM machine and we carry those plastic cards around. But when the power is lost, most machines will not be working. So besides the plastic, make sure you have your extra cash and your emergency items. If you have students with or in adults, anyone with special needs, make sure you have the materials that they require. If it's an extra battery for their hearing aid or extra battery for their wheelchair, you must have those. Come to the shelters, come with your supply of food for at least 3 days, and make sure that you just come with a very enthusiastic and positive mind, because our shelters are supported by the Department of Human Services. It's one of our government partners, and we have a host of individuals who are there. We have our nurses from the Department of Education that are on hand, and it's individuals who are out there and helping you to be comfortable. So we ask, if you come to the shelter, just walk with your supplies and walk with your positive attitude, and we will be ready to serve you.
Okay. So this when we met the other day, so this is the same sort of kit that you showed us, correct?
Yes.
Sort of in a smaller version.
Yes. Well, I have my mini kit that I should have brought maybe today. My mini preparedness kit. But this list tells you what to do for your family preparedness kit. And to have that kit, again, ready and available. You can have a larger kit at home. You can walk with a kit. I prepared a kit that's a pint-sized kit that you can you can have in your car or underneath your job at your desk. But whatever it is, there may be that night that you may not just make it home one afternoon. You might have to get stuck at work, and so that you have your emergency kit with you. So whichever size kit you would like, you can come to Red Cross for that educational material, and we'll let you know exactly how to prepare your kit. It is free, it's no cost. Please, if you want to share it at your workplace, or you want to take a few home and share within your neighborhood community groups, just come into the Red Cross. We have lots of information to be able to distribute out.
Okay, good. And then the other thing here is, and you touched on this a little earlier too, about making the plan, I guess the evacuation plan.
Yes.
When there's some kind of disaster, to make sure that even though you may be exiting on a couple different doors, but the plan is to make sure that everybody meets at the same tree on the corner, so that we all can be accounted for.
Right, and in a larger disaster, make sure there's a neighbor who you may want to meet, or you let your family know that if we're separated, where is that meeting place? We're all going to eventually meet at Grandma's house, in Frederiksted, or these are the important telephone numbers to call, and not only a number on island, but a number off island. So you have that one common number where everyone is going to call, and what we call check-in.
Right.
And so that you'll let everyone know where they're at. And in case, again, the telephone system may be down here, but we should have services where people can call out, and you'll be able to call out and contact our Safe and Well program for the American Red Cross is a program that links families during a disaster. So families can register as Safe and Well, and we would input that information within the American Red Cross notification system, and their relatives off island or on island can go in and find out if they are okay. We have a satellite system that has the capability of sending our messages, emails, or whatever data electronically. We have a 48 port system, 24 for St. Croix and 24 for St. Thomas, in which we're able to again make contact with the outside world. So we will be transmitting data out to let any families know exactly the situation and the position of their loved ones. So again, have those numbers written down. Walk with your numbers, your important numbers during an emergency. Post those numbers on your refrigerator, because we know that when an emergency arises, what's the first thing that happens? We forget. So write all your information down, and in the day where we can store a lot of data in the cloud, which is really good. Some of us will be able to access the cloud. If you're not, again, printing that out on a small sheet and having it someplace will help for you to be able to contact individuals in the time of an emergency.
Okay. And you mentioned too that Human Services is a partner in this?
Yes, Human Service is the primary agency that's responsible for mass care, which is sheltering, bulk distribution. And so that in their effort to be supportive of us as a voluntary organization, they have a good bit of their employees who come out and work at the shelters as well.
Okay. So are there designated shelters that you can mention?
Yes, we have designated shelters on St. Croix. The shelters are Claudio Marco School. I'll call the primary shelters.
Right.
The primary shelters are Claudio Marco School Educational Complex and Herbert Gray Home for the Aged. On St. Thomas, the shelters are Berta Bush School, Niski Moravian School, the Human Services Complex, and we've also used the Human Services Head Start, as well as the Blue Water Bible College. And on St. John, we have the Julia Sprouse School in Cruz Bay.
Okay, good. So you guys are ready, I would imagine, for any what have been some challenges over the years with the Red Cross here in the Virgin Islands for you guys?
Well, right now, one of our biggest challenges is on St. Thomas. We're actually looking for warehouse space to house our disaster materials. We have, and not only St. Thomas and St. John, our entire inventory was in trailers. We have quite a bit of trailers. We have 244 trailers and 222-foot trailers. Trailers are at the Westin on St. John as well as on St. Thomas at Property and Procurement. However, due to the heat and the termites, our inventory has been compromised. So we're looking for warehousing space that we can have a much cooler temperature.
Right.
Yes, it's cooler and dry.
Dry that can house our equipment. It has been a challenge, and we have been reaching out to the government for space as well.
Right.
These materials do not belong to the American Red Cross. The materials are here in the territory for the people of the Virgin Islands. These materials are only monitored by Red Cross, but if there is an emergency, they're dispersed out to the community. So we're asking anyone that has some space, we're looking for at least 1,500 square foot of space, to please give to the American Red Cross, and that may be the deed that you would do to help your community. So that has been our biggest challenge.
Okay.
When we're looking for gaps, we're constantly recruiting nurses. we're asking our nurses and our mental health individuals who have certification to please come forward. Those are the both areas where we are having a shortage in terms of volunteers. Why? Because our nurses belong to the hospital. They'll have to report to the hospital. And so that we're using the same group of people for other areas.
Okay.
And then those who are public health will have to go out into the community and do their public health activities as well, make sure the clinics are up and running. So we have a call. We do know that we will have, we've entered into a memorandum of agreement and some cooperative with some other groups that may be able to assist us. But again, we like to begin, like Lily said, we begin locally and make sure that we can support ourselves at least for the first 72 hours. And then our last area is finances, funding. Again, support our programs, support our initiatives. Home Fire Campaign, Fill the Booth, the Pillowcase Project. Just give so that we can prepare that word to be ready, be Red Cross ready in the event of an emergency.
That's right. Okay. Anything else you guys want to add to what you're talking about here?
Well, basically, we do have, I didn't touch as much on our health and safety. Health and safety, you can call 1-800 Red Cross and register to take a health and safety course. Whenever there's an emergency, we will not have a nurse at every location, at every site. We go to church and someone faints and the first thing you hear is, wait, do we have a nurse? And so we can't have a nurse within every square foot to be able to tend to emergencies. So we have to rely on us. So we're asking individuals to support our health and safety programs, come in and be CPR, first aid certified so that you can respond to your own personal emergency health needs. You get cut, when there's a hurricane, you know that we have a lot of nails and boards and fences that are down, and people tend to suffer a lot of minor accidents and injuries. So you can take care of those at home as well.
Okay.
So support our programs. Come out, be a volunteer, and in whichever way.
This particular program is free. If you wanted to be CPR certified, it's free.
No, it is not a free program. There is a cost.
Okay.
Again, but we encourage you, no matter what, to invest in yourself.
Right.
We encourage individuals in the workplace to be able to be CPR first aid certified. You'd want to work next to one of your colleagues who you know that if something happens to you, they'll be able to help. So CPR certified for the workplace. I know that we do have certain businesses that train their people in mass, in groups. And so again, if you have not done so and you have a number of workers, at least above 5, you would want to make sure that someone at the workplace is CPR certified.
Yes.
And so we encourage you again, become a volunteer. It's a journey that's very self-rewarding, very fulfilling, and an opportunity to learn. No matter what the age is, please do join the American Red Cross, and you can call us with your email address and we'll send you the easy link that has, I don't think it's any more than 6 steps for you to complete, begin the process.
Okay. What is the on the national level for the American Red Cross? What is I guess their message in a sense coming down? I guess from that level down.
Well, I think that even if you look at I think it's just, I know the message is the same.
Okay.
Nationally, it's given donating to the blood supply, donating financially, just coming out and donating your time as a volunteer. So we are messaging. We have the same messaging and the same strand. And I think if you look at very early in the morning, I see their media advertisement that's talking about You know, disasters can happen down the street, around the corner, in your neighborhood, and to please donate and give. And so that is the messaging. And here within the Virgin Islands, we're developing the same theme. We helping we.
Right.
Okay.
This is what is going to happen. It's us helping us. It's we helping ourselves and our community. And it starts with me. It starts with you. It starts with Lily. It starts with every volunteer who has decided to give and to help.
Okay. All right. Ms. Alvarez, you want to add anything to that?
Donate.
Okay.
We have the fundraiser tomorrow, Fill the Booth, so I'm hoping that the community will actually come out and donate.
Okay. And you guys do that once a year?
We do that once a year, mainly held in March because March is Red Cross month.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
But don't wait for March Red Cross month to donate. You can donate at any time of the year.
Okay.
Just like volunteer, you can call, come by, give us your name, email address, and you can become a volunteer at any time.
Okay.
Gain skills, you can add it to your resume, you got experience. So it's beneficial all the way around.
Okay. Okay.
And so we'd like to thank you for allowing us into your studio. It's been an experience, and again, you have a marvelous feel for what Red Cross does, and we appreciate the fact that you've allowed us to enter so many homes. And so thank you for investing in Red Cross, believing in Red Cross, and asking us to come this evening. We thank you so very much.
All right. Well, thank you.
You guys are welcome. Because we see this as a very important part of the community, and the job that you guys do is very important too.
Yeah.
You know, so continue to do the work, as we will encourage everybody to support Red Cross and donate to them. And volunteer the time. You know?
So if I could ask you, have you ever had to use the Red Cross, or your family? Because I don't think that.
I had to use Red Cross during Hugo.
Okay.
I did. So I received support from the American Red Cross.
Yeah, I've never. I personally have never used them, and I don't know that. My family has, but I'm not absolutely sure. But I don't think so. But the service is there if you need it. These guys are able and willing, and they're all volunteers, and they want to help. And I guess having the right attitude is a lot of that too, if I'm not mistaken. With the volunteers, I think probably 99% of it is attitude, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. Soup, you got any final questions for these young ladies here?
No, I just want to thank them very much and continue to do what you all do.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Okay. Well, once again, I'd like to thank you guys for coming out. This is Lily Alvarez and Marla Matthew. They're with the Virgin Islands American Red Cross. Today is Wear Red Day.
Tomorrow is Fill the Booth.
Tomorrow is Fill the Booth.
So
I guess
donate wherever you do. We have 5 locations on the island. So wherever you see the booth and Red Cross, just stop in and just give whatever you can. You know?
give whatever you can.
Yeah.
And I guess tomorrow too, you can wear red as you're doing your Saturday errands and drop $1 or $25 or $10 to $20 in the booth. It's all for good causes, because like they say, you may need the Red Cross at some point or another. Your house burns down, or you may get a call or need to get a call from a loved one that's in the military or something along those lines. That's what the Red Cross is here for. And I guess more importantly, to get your readiness kit ready. Get that kit ready. I know early on when we started the show, you guys, we used to say. Soup used to do a thing there that used to tell everybody to get ready. Get your water, your passport, your important papers, your medication, your eyeglasses, a whole list of things that we used to say every show. We kind of stopped, but I think we'll probably be getting back into that again as we hit hurricane season
again.
It's coming up here. Just things that everybody needs to know to get this kit ready, so that you're not scrambling at the last minute trying to find this, that for the baby, and for the kids, and this, that, and everything's kind of ready and 99% packed. I know Marla showed us her little kit. I thought it was kind of cute in a sense. It was kind of a can there. I forget what kind of can it was, but she had several things.
Country Time iced tea.
That's right. Country Time iced tea. empty can, and she had several things in it. I think what was the most funniest part about it is when she had to put everything back into it. I think there was sort of a strategic packing plan to get it all back in there, but it did fit. And but that's I guess her pack for her desk, and she said that you can have one for your car and even a bigger one for your house. So depending on where you are, you just grab the kit, and you know your family meets at the strategic location, and everybody gets accounted for, and you just find yourself either a shelter or a safe place. I guess is the best way to put that. All right, so once again, thank you guys for coming out. This is the Virgin Islands American Red Cross. There they are. One more time. Wave to the crowd, ladies. Thanks for coming out. Soup, any final words?
Thank you, ladies. Again, thank you. Continue doing the good works. Jack Guide, One Perfect Love.
Yeah, we like to say one perfect love is our prayers and His blessings. When you put it all together, you get one perfect love. All right, so everybody have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys next week. We got more shows and more fun stuff lined up. We're out. Peace.